Welcome back to the channel, traders, and today we're going over AMC. We have to do an update. What am I expecting going into this week? Where do I see the stock going? And what are the levels that I'm really watching? Now, I'm getting a lot of questions about what are my price targets for the week, how high can we go? And I'm gonna cover pretty much all that in this video. Now, I'm gonna give you an update on where I see us going. There is also a new article that was released Friday evening, and I kind of want to press upon that as well, why that was really good for the stock and potentially a bigger press up. So we're gonna get into that content here in a second. Now, before we do that, I need you to do one thing and one thing only. Hit that sub button down below, leave a thumbs up, and have the notifications turned on because we post videos every single day regarding the stocks that we love. And after this video, I will be live from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central, maybe till midnight. We'll have to wait and see, but make sure you check into that after. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. Okay, so we have a few things we're going to talk about, primarily going over the charts, going over price targets and things like that. But before we get into that, I just want to talk about this one article that kind of sums a few things up. This article goes over executives in the company that were given large bonuses to incentivize them to hold their long-term stock so it won't decrease the value, because I believe they are expecting another leg to the upside. So we're going to get into that here in a second. I also want to look at the borrow rate because the borrow rate percentage is going through the roof and it's getting more and more expensive to short this stock. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're not going to spend too much time going over this, but I do want to overall just explain what's going on. The company said that bonuses recognize the extraordinary efforts of employees during the COVID-19 pandemic. Aaron will receive 3.75, the CEO of the company, in part for his work to encourage continued engagement and retention and incentivize our management and employees during the continued and unprecedented difficult business conditions. Other executives received about 175 to 500 grand total. So those are all still pretty big bonuses, even if it's not 3.75 million. Why does this matter? Now, they'll go on and explain that this is kind of to incentivize the devaluation or people selling off any stock, because we don't want any sellers at this time. And I believe AMC has come to the conclusion they want to ride this out. Now, this could also be incentivization from Wanda Group, right? Because Wanda owns a majority of the company, so they could be wanting to sell out and they want to be the first ones to kind of sell out of the company, right? So that's where they're kind of paying these people. Is that manipulation? It's kind of a gray line if you ask me, but we're going to get to more content here in a sec. Now, if we look at iBorrowed, this goes over the interest rate and how much the fees cost for shorting. We can see on Friday, we opened up at around 6%, and then as we got deeper into the day, got closer and closer down to 4% because less people were shorting at the end of the day. Now, at the beginning of the day, we get that spike up because it was an SSR rule, and when that happened, a lot of people were entering, and it was about 6 to 5% to get into those short positions, very, very high, which shows there's tons of shorts, there's a high demand for it, and that's why those rates are increasing. So that's very good for the stock as well. This is kind of incentivized. If we get the gamma squeeze, the short squeeze could be massive. Okay, and so now we're gonna look at the charts. I'm trying to run through this as quickly as possible, not spend too much time here, because I know if you have questions, you're gonna keep asking me them in the live session tonight. I get a lot of questions there. I'm more than happy to answer them there. And we'll be going over it pretty much all night long. So as we look at this, where are the price targets? What am I looking at? So coming in to start the day, I wanna see a break and hold above this 850 range. So I automatically wanna see a gap up, some type of strong movement back above this range, and then moving sideways. That would make me the happiest. I don't really want to see a straight up move and breaking back to the upside. The parabolic move would be nice, but with these parabolic moves, especially on AMC, you're getting a very big dip back down to the downside every time we get those major moves up. So I kind of want to see slow, stagnated growth. And then from here, there's two zones that I'm really watching. This $14.5 to $14, and then as well as this $17 range up here. Now, if we get above both of these ranges, so what I'm anticipating is some slow, stagnated movement and a slow, gradual trend back up to that upside. Now, what we saw here was some slow, actual, gradual growth all the way from the $5 range all the way back up to that $11 range. It was slow and steady over the course of 3 days. It wasn't super parabolic until we got into that last day on Thursday. That's when things got absolutely parabolic. So I want to see slow, gradual growth until we get to these overall resistance levels, and then I want to kind of speed up, if you will, there. Now, from there, the question is can we get to all-time highs? Now, if we can mount above this range right here, this $17 range, in my opinion, there's a lot of room to push to new highs. If we get above $17, in my opinion, I believe the stock will push past $20, past $21 towards a $25, $26 range. That's just me personally. I think $17 is going to be the resistance. That's going to be the heaviest and hardest to break. Now, if it busts straight through it, there's a high chance we keep running. But what we want to watch for is the parabolic movement, because if the stock gets very parabolic, we've seen it, it continues to move down very quick. We were moving very steady up, Once we get the parabolic movement, we trended sideways and then dump right back down. So that's what I'm gonna be watching here on the stock, is for that parabolic movement, because if it happens, chances are within a few hours we see a move back on the downside or overall retracement. This move that we're seeing down here honestly is not that bad. As we erase everything else, this movement isn't that bad, because now we kind of dump back down, move a little sideways, come up, and we're just trending. We held the $8 range very, very strong, and now we're getting that sideways movement. Like I said, I want to get back above the 850, move sideways, and continue the uptrend back toward the gains. That's what we want to see. But now let's look at the OBV before we wrap everything up. Now we saw that overall trend back down, about an ABC correction, and now we're moving sideways, bottoming out, about to push back up. This looks very, very, very similar to what we saw in this range down here, correct? As you see, we saw the bottoming out down here. As we pushed down, as we made that low, we bottomed out, came back up, and then started the slow, gradual trend, got parabolic, and that's where we're at again. History tends to repeat itself, and AMC is kind of moving in a pretty healthy trend overall. When we got this last push down, we never really had that sideways movement, as you can see. So from when we made that local highs here, we pushed up and we just kept coming down. Down, came up, came back down, right? This is the only time we kind of had any sideways movement at all. Besides that, it was just parabolic movement up and down the whole time. Just up, down, up, down, up, down. There was no healthy correction. And as you see what we're doing now, we're finally getting that overall, that healthy movement sideways right here. So that does look healthy. So if we can break back above this range and see some upward movement, I do not think we double top. I think we break straight through it and make those new local highs on the stock. So I know the TA was pretty quick. I wanted to keep it pretty condensed and to the point, because I know you guys just want to get the information as quickly and as simple as possible. I'll be breaking down more of the stuff here in the upcoming live in the next few hours. So make sure you tune in 9 p.m. Central, Eastern Standard. I believe it's like 10 p.m. So whatever it is for you guys, I don't know. But I will be live answering any and all questions in the live. It's not paid content. I do this every single night and going over the stocks you guys request as well. So make sure you're in there. I do believe Monday is open, and overall Monday overall is going to be a pretty big day for AMC. It does need to get back above 850. I'm not giving specific targets. It's price action that we're seeing here. We're seeing key price action levels being the overall decision maker for the stock. It's making or breaking it right now. But the trend that we are formed with AMC looks very strong, and I could see the case for us to push the $20 to $25 level possibly this week. It does look very, very strong. Just be careful. This is not financial advice, so do your own due diligence and do your homework on the stock. That's gonna wrap up this video, guys. Make sure you hit that sub, the thumbs up button down below, and have the notifications turned on. Have a good one, boys. Namaste.